Hi everyone, and welcome to AI Challenges. My name is Andrei Petrovich. I'm a junior partner and head of analytics at Selective VC, and I'll be your host today. Thank you all for being here. I would like to introduce Elizaveta Aleynikova, our analyst at Selective VC. She will be co-hosting this event and will step in if needed during the session. For those hearing about us for the first time, Selective VC is a community-driven venture syndicate. In just over 2 years, we've backed more than 80 companies across Web2 and Web3, from early-stage startups to late-stage leaders. Our portfolio includes names like OpenAI and Databricks, alongside a wave of next-generation startups. And now, before I take it further, I'd like to hand over to one of our partners, Yevgeniy Chebotov, to say a few words.
Hi there, I'm Yevgeniy Chebotov and managing partners of Selective VC. Together with my fellow partners, Kirill, Alex, and Valentin, we built Syndicate, which supports startups from early stage to grow. I'm glad to co-host this event with Uniborn, and they like to see so many founders and investors here. For investors, we will share today promo code during this conference to give free access to our syndicate. Thank you. Back to you, Andrei.
I guess that Yevgeny's internet isn't that good, so I would like to tell you a bit more about why are we here tonight. Because venture, and especially AI, is crowded with noise. Everyone is building, everyone is raising, but the hard question remains: which companies are solving real, durable problems that can stand the test of time? That's the purpose of AI Challenges, to put a spotlight on obstacles that truly matter and the founders solving them. Here is how the day unfolds. Right now, we kick off with six TED-style talks, 20 minutes each, from some of the brightest founders and investors in our network. They'll explore how AI agents are used in venture capital, the importance of LLM feedback, secure access to data, emotional intelligence in AI, and challenges related to inference and training, and then how AI transforms markets. 2 hours later, we switch into our AI startup pitch session. 5 curated founders, seed to Series A, will each have 5 minutes to pitch. The pitch session includes several startups from the Selective VC portfolio. And then we close the event with our venture Afterparty, a live DJ set from DJ Mag, who is both an angel investor and a performer. That's also your opportunity to connect with each other, and networking happens directly in the comment section of the platform where this event is streamed. So that's the journey: talks, startup pitches, and music. A sharp lens on what matters and nothing that doesn't. Yevgeny, could you please tell me if your internet is good so that you can introduce our partners?
Yeah, of course. Hi, once again. So our managing partners, Alex Belov, me, of course, and Kirill Fomichev and Valentin Zavgorodny. I don't know what to share more information, or it's enough.
Yevgeny, unfortunately, I can't hear you. Can you hear me?
I already introduced our partners, so you can continue.
Oh, I apologize. Unfortunately, my internet isn't good. All right. So before I continue, I want to share something important. Ahead of AI Challenges, we ran a charity initiative where every reaction to our LinkedIn post turned into a donation. 50 cents for a like, $1 for a comment, and $2 for a repost. The first QR code on the slides takes you straight to that post. If you haven't joined yet, this is your moment. Add your reaction and become part of the impact. Tomorrow, we'll announce on LinkedIn the total amount raised and where these funds will go. The second QR code on the slide is for the live stream. Feel free to share it so more people can join the conference. And once again, thank you all for joining us today. And now let's dive into our first TED Talk and explore the challenges shaping the future of AI. Most VCs talk about AI as something to invest in, but the biggest shift is that AI is starting to invest with us. With AI agents evolving into deal makers that scan signals, uncover opportunities, and automate due diligence. Our first speaker is building right at this frontier. Dmitrii Samoilovskikh, founder of Uniborn, is rethinking how agents fit into the deal flow. He'll share which use cases drive returns, which trade-offs matter, and how early adopters can build an edge. Please join me in welcoming Dmitrii Samoilovskikh.
Thank you, Andrei. Thank you all. And thanks to the Selective VC whole team, actually. So I'm really proud to open the conference today. And I'm actually both excited, quite equally excited to both bring my own keynote and also absorb the insights from all the other founders and operators who are sharing the stage with me today. So yeah, my name is Dmitrii Samoilovskikh. I am the founder of Uniborn. And today I will split my keynote into 3 distinct blocks. So first of all, we'll talk about Uniborn. I'll tell you what the company is and where we are today. Then I'll move to the primary part of the current keynote. We'll talk about the VC industry at large, and we'll dive deeper into what we are building here at Uniborn. And finally, I'll bring you some key reflections which are kind of on top of my mind at the moment, and which I feel that every other investor who is currently active in the space should keep in mind as well. So Uniborn, we started off a couple of years ago in 2023, and in the very first days, we were more like a syndication platform. If you are familiar with AngelList or allocations or sidecar, you probably know what it means. So we serve general partners of venture funds, of private equity funds, as well as syndicates like Selective VC, one of our biggest client actually. And we help them with software, and we help them with infrastructure. So we help them to create special purpose vehicles, to put all the documentation together, pull funding to invest in some particular companies, etc. That's what we started with, and over the past couple of years, we closed about 50 deals so far. And started from last year, we began to focus more on our proprietary deal flow. And we actually began to gravitate toward investment banking activities. And what it means is that we help post-Series B, I would say, companies, high-growth companies, to place their primary equities to facilitate their fundraising, as well as arrange tender offerings for early employees, early investors. And also one of the recent projects that we have been working for was Salmon, an Asian fintech company, and we were placing bonds for them. So that's something very exciting for us as well. In total, we brought in tens of millions of US dollars in capital within this investment banking activities. And we are a startup ourselves, as you can imagine. So we are backed by several syndicates, including Selective VC, by the way, as well as by Altair Capital, one of the most exciting, I would say, venture funds with 8 unicorns in the portfolio. And of course, we want to be the next one as well. And yeah, we are profitable. We are growing pretty significantly. We closed our last month with $140K US dollars in revenue, which is like 15 times more than August last year. That's it for us, for Uniborn. And now let's gradually move towards the primary talk of this keynote. So yeah, you probably heard about these 3 pillars that VC is all about: sourcing, selecting, and supporting. And while the commonality of the best VC investors is that they kind of great at each of these parts, but within this particular keynote, I would suggest that we only focus on the first part, which is sourcing, because that's where it all begins. And without nailing sourcing, you will not be able to do pretty much anything in the private markets. You probably heard the saying, deal flow is currency, and it quite resonates with another saying, which is your network is your net worth. And it's no wonder, because what actually differentiates private markets from public markets is that alpha in private markets is mainly generated by your visibility and your ability to get access to the best deals on the market. And in private markets, you kind of want other people, like founders, like co-investors, to want you to join the journey, right? So that's why if you look at the data, out of 100 deals that the top VC funds do, over 60 typically come their way through personal connections rather than any other channel. And of course, what we have seen recently over the past decade, I would say, is the rise of data-driven approach in VC. Many of you probably know Alex from Mento VC, which is a great example of kind of ability to amplify data and AI capabilities to expand their radar, their visibility, and double down on proactive search and outreach. And this is definitely a trend. This is where a lot of companies are working to kind of create tools for proactive search. And if we talk about the last part, the cold inbound, sorry, I think we all can agree that we can just skip that, because the quality of the inbound channel is pretty not significant, let's say. So what I'm saying is that VC and private equity industry is heavily reliant on personal networks, and especially when it comes to sourcing. And I personally don't believe that it's going to change in the nearest future, because it's kind of a human nature. But the issue with personal networks is that humans are kind of limited to maintain great connections, great relationships with a large number of people. Let's say there is even a specific number for that. It's called the Dunbar's number, which is 150. What it means is that we humans cannot maintain blossoming great relationships with more than 100 people. And if that's the case, there is a question: can we scale personal networks? This problem is actually nothing new. If you look around, you could see multiple models that large VCs like Sequoia, like A16Z, deploy to expand their visibility through building scout programs, through building venture partners programs, and even kind of multiplying the number of GPs, because each of them may have like up to 100, virtually one, or theoretically 150 relationships, right? But even with that, the best firms like A16Z can only see a fraction of the best deals that can potentially fall into their thesis. And that brings us to the question: if that doesn't work, what does? So, and with that, I'm excited to introduce you how we at Uniborn see the solution for this problem and foresee the future of sourcing. And it's called Jet. He's actually his full name is Jet Ventureson, so he's kind of lucky guy with his last name. So Jet is an AI agent, as you can imagine, who connects to multiple investors and sort of overcomes these sourcing limitations. He doesn't have any limitations in terms of number of people that he can maintain connections with. And how does he work? So essentially, Jet operates as a private network, kind of a social but still private network of professional investors. So he connects to multiple investors and lives in their messengers like Telegram, WhatsApp, Facebook Messenger. He gets to know them first via some deep research that he does under the hood. And then he does an interview with each investor, and then he enriches their profiles over time by just speaking with them. And the more you speak to Jet, the more useful he becomes to you. Secondly, the give-get principle. Jet incentivizes it. He rewards you to share with him opportunities that you are working on for a benefit of making you the first to see the next deal that you are interested in, but that you would otherwise have missed. And under the hood, we have a special hidden scoring system, which we call JES for Jet Scoring System, which dynamically calculates your inputs and rewards users with a certain score. And the higher your score, the more relevant first-hand opportunities Jet will be showing to you. So it's kind of a meritocracy in action. And yeah, so Jet is designed to bring you relevant opportunities, not kind of cold inbound channel, but from investors and to investors. And he connects you with the right people at the right time. So that's the primary functions for Jet. And I'm going to show you what it looks like in a little bit. And finally, of course, it goes without saying, Jet should be more useful than ChatGPT when it comes to market intelligence, especially when it comes to market intelligence in private markets. Now, let's watch a quick video.
Circuits humming, gears align, whispers of code in every line. A spark, a click, a brighter mind. Think outside the line. It's your world, let it shine. Think outside the line. A dash of wonder, a leap, a spin. Where does it end? Or does it begin? Think outside the line.
Yeah, thank you. I hope you all liked it. So Jet is live starting today. You can find him at jet.im. But please note that he is in private beta. We're still tweaking him and putting some additional inputs, so don't expect too much in the early days from him. And of course, you need to be ready for hallucinations that happen here and there, of course. That's the very early product. And he only is available, I mean, in terms of chatting with Jet, you can only use Telegram for the time being. So we will add WhatsApp and other messengers as well over the next few weeks, I hope. And you know, when we first built Jet, the first prototype came together like maybe in a weekend, maybe in a few days. It was like a few prompts, a wrapper, some APIs, and suddenly you have an AI intern that can talk back to you. And I still remember the feelings. It feels like you're building a freaking Jarvis with its real human nature, personality, and brain. It feels really magical. But then reality hits because building a demo is really easy nowadays. So you can take out of the box with all the available tools and build something within really hours or days. But building something that actually works, that requires quite a lot of resources and quite a lot of research, I would say. So it took us maybe 6 months to get to the current point to build what we have, and we are still far away from a stable product. And let's have a look into what Jet looks like from a technical perspective. I know that we are not talking about technical stuff today, but for investors, maybe there is some value in understanding what is behind under the hood of such agentic systems, right? So as you can see, the whole system is quite complex with dozens of agents, tools, APIs. It's built on top of 3 models at the moment: OpenAI, Gemini, Mistral, and we'll be adding more for some specific tasks, like Anthropic, for example, for financial analysis. And this complexity is for a reason. So some notable challenges that we had to overcome are, for example, orchestration. Jet looks like a single agent when you speak to him, but under the hood, as you can see, there are a dozen of agents and counting actually. And when you send one message to Jet, it triggers multiple internal messages and handoffs. And if a single step falls, or if one task lags or two tasks race each other, for example, you have an extreme chaos. And imagine juggling like 6 balls and someone is throwing you the 7th one without warning. So that's what our messaging, buffering, and restart logic had to solve. And it seems like we have finally found a solution for that. Memory is another headache. It's not enough for Jet to remember. He has to remember the right way. So your last preference matters more than what you said, for example, 6 months ago. But we can't lose that memory, that history either. So we had to design a memory system that works like a brain. So it has a short-term focus plus long-term recall tied together with semantic search. I think that's enough for the technical part. And let's gradually move to the final one. In the first part of my keynote, I mentioned that we facilitated about 50 deals so far, and we have seen many more, of course. Plus, as you can see, we are quite into building our own agentic system, so we have something to tell about this maybe. So now I would like to share with you some really random observations that I'm thinking of a lot, and I guess they might be also useful for everyone investing in AI nowadays, and not only AI actually. They might sound like warnings sometimes, but it is also for a reason. So first of all, enterprise adoption today is the Wild West. So what I want to say here is that we are at the land grab age. And what we are seeing today is the rise of all kinds of AI applications, and enterprise is no exception as well. So everybody is super excited and don't want to miss the opportunity window to implement these new amazing tools into their workflows. But the reality is that retention really sucks. So the vast majority of AI applications that we see, they really struggle to retain customers. And this is not something that you will see in their pitch decks. They will never show you the churn rates because they suck, actually. But what you will typically see is the hockey stick revenue. But to me, it is more like not like a product market fit, but a product mindshare fit. So this is all about like who is going to be the most loud and the most active on the market, and who will grab the most of the land. So I would be really cautious about this next time you see a startup with a hockey stick revenue in the pitch deck. That is my first insight. The next insight is really interesting. So we started to see more and more really questionable structures on the market, especially for household names, which everybody knows, with significant demand and liquidity. And when you are offered to invest in a great company, and especially on better terms than what you see on the market, and if you don't know what is the market at the moment, you can ask Jet, for example. He will tell you what the market is at the moment for any single name. So you really need to understand the structure of the deal. There are lots of second layer SPVs, three layers SPVs, etc. That's all fine. Provided that you know the structure well, you know the GPs well, and you have some certain trust to these GPs. Because what we have seen recently is a couple of examples where certain investors pulled their money in SPVs. The underlying company that the SPV invested into, it went public. And only then the investors realized, they actually found out that there were no shares in the SPV. So be very careful with that. It's very crazy times, I would say. And the final thing that I wanted to share about acceleration. So we have seen a myriad of market bubbles in the past, right? Now that we are about at all-time highs with the public equities, I think it's a good time to reflect on this as well. So based on my purely subjective observations, what took almost a decade for a market to recover after a shock in the past now can take maybe 10, maybe 20 times less time. We all remember 2020 when the market crashed, and then just after a few, if not weeks, just a couple of months, we were back. So I think this is kind of the new reality. And now that we are kind of at the peak of the public markets as well, I do think that something bad may happen. But at the same time, the recovery might be as quick as most of us won't be able to benefit from. So talking about my personal approach to investments, I currently either do short-term bets, really short-term bets like weeks or a couple of months, or keep a long-term strategy which is able to sort of absorb this mid-term shocks. And I do think which are pretty inevitable. So it's kind of a barbell strategy, if you will. That's it for me for today. I think we just on time.
Thank you, Dmitrii, for that brilliant opening, a fresh lens on how AI agent can step into venture workflow. Now to our second talk. Teams often don't know where their models fail or why users drop off. Chinar Movsisyan, founder of Feedback Intelligence, helps solve this by turning messy user interactions into clear insights. The platform spots confusion, tracks goal completion, and flags weak responses so teams can improve quality, build trust, and grow faster. Please welcome Chinar Movsisyan.
Thank you, Andrei. Thank you so much for having me. I'm Chinar Movsisyan, the founder of Feedback Intelligence. So my presentation topic is a bit like different. What you just said, it's the same thing, but it's a bit different. It's going to be large models, user experience, and product metrics. Cool. Let's start. Few words about myself. So over the last 10 years, I would say I have seen AI move from research labs to real products. And one thing became clear, that shipping an AI feature, AI product is easy for different applications, but making sure it works for users is hard. So today, I'm gonna cover this new shift, this like how conversational AI agents are becoming the new standard, and why the metrics that we knew do not cut it for AI agents, conversational AI, and what we can do instead. So let's start with why this even matters now. So one thing that we all agree, that AI agents are not just tools anymore. They sit right next to us, helping write code, answer customer questions, even make business decisions, right? So the way we measure them has to shift from, is the system alive, or what is the health of system, to, is it actually helping people? Is the output of that AI agent aligned with my needs, expectations, my style, like as a person, is it aligned with me or not? And the timing couldn't be more important, because these AI agents are being deployed in every vertical, like from code to insurance to healthcare to banks, all these verticals, which are very critical for like human life. Two big changes happening very fast. One thing that we can mention here is interfaces exploded. What does this mean? So we are seeing that conversational AI is becoming the new front door to any enterprise workflow, right? So from chat to voice to embedded AI features everywhere. And typical use cases that we are seeing, customer support is changing so fast, right? Like if you call to some customer support for some inquiry you have. Like the other day, I was calling to this FedEx to check where is my parcel. AI agent is answering to that call. Like first whole conversation, they keep with AI agent, and then if there is a need, they escalate to human agent. And on the other note, what we are seeing, all metrics do not tell the story. So those success metrics, criteria that we have used in the past decades are not working anymore. So for example, latency and uptime are fine, but they do not say if the AI solved your problem, that user customer problem or not. We kind of need a new playbook for measuring this success, for defining that success and then measuring that success. But before we jump to that solution, what are like new metrics that we can use? Let's look at how we got here. Like what made us to be in this position. So what's happening here in this new shift? We started with language models, right? And those were like singleton, static outputs. For example, like 4 years ago, if you have used any language model like BERT, for example, that was very like static interaction, meaning like there was one question and a language model was trying to give some output, and next token prediction was very hard. I mean, you were waiting as a user, you were waiting for a meaningful word to see. Then after ChatGPT came out, chatbots, which are basic conversations with some context, started to be used a lot. Now, after this like single-turn, static outputs, and then multi-turn with some context, we are seeing AI agents. So these are multi-turn again, context-aware again, but also those have some autonomy. Those agents can make decisions on the fly. As capabilities evolved, our metrics should have been evolved as well, right? So, and that's where the cracks started showing. We saw these like MIT report or other reports, like a lot of people are talking about that, why we are not able to make from a POC to full real world deployment. What is the root cause of that? Why we are not there yet? So most teams track system health, right? Like latency, uptime, cost. These metrics we have seen coming from like traditional application monitoring to AI observability, some sort of, that's like judging a car by whether the engine starts, not whether it got you where you wanted to go. Like this is the simplest analogy I could think of to kind of show what is the difference between just tracking system health and making sure that it's working properly. So what's missing here? What we are seeing in this new shift, in this new world, there are metrics that we have to take into account at day zero. And those metrics are coming from feedback. So let me just elaborate on this a bit more. Those metrics, I have here a few metrics already listed, like satisfaction, retention, alignment with intent. Without those, you can't tell if your AI is actually working. The other thing is important here to mention. So we are saying that these AI agents with multi-turn capabilities, context-aware, with some autonomy, are deployed in different verticals, like from healthcare to, for example, mental health AI companion, or SaaS construction company or insurance. Those are different verticals with different KPIs and business metrics. So when we define whether the output of AI agent is aligned with user needs, expectations, whether user is satisfied, all of that, we have to take into account what is the success criteria in that domain, in that use case, what they care the most. For example, in mental health, it's important that the chatbot AI agent has very high empathy, right? Because the conversation is about mental health, the user needs some support. It is not ever about like accuracy or correctness, all of that. It is way possible to have not super correct answer, but have high empathy. But there are verticals where no one cares about empathy, and they care about correctness, helpfulness, and other metrics. So one thing that we are seeing in this AI agent, enterprise adoption, all of that, enterprises are having a hard time to define these metrics, use case specific metrics, and iterate over time. That's where we need new way of measuring the success, qualifying and quantifying that experience, and making sure that the AI is useful for real world. Now let's talk about what is the best or better, whether we have a better approach here or not. This is a simple, like I would say, cheat sheet, analytics for language model-based agentic era, large language model-based, or just a lot of folks are relying on small models for some specific use cases. So how we think about this new product metrics or new user experience analysis, qualification, and quantification. We think about it in 3 layers. The first layer that we are seeing a lot of companies are aligned and they need that is deep behavioral analytics. This part basically answers to this following question: what users actually do with the AI? So when we do the behavioral analysis, we try to answer or qualify why users are actually using this AI product. What is their intent? What is their goal? How that goal is changing over time? Because that insight, that data is giving real direction where to adapt, where to double down this AI agent further. The other part, the next part, which is super critical here, is qualification, quantification, qualitative and quantitative metrics. This is kind of scoring plus context. So in the first layer, we know what is user goal, why they interact, how often they interact, what they do, what is their sentiment, all of that. And now we are quantifying and qualifying. We are observing user experience. And with those metrics that I mentioned, those reports in the previous slide, those are critical to define. Is this about empathy? Like, given this goal that user has while interacting with this AI agent, empathy is something that we have to qualify and quantify, or is it about correctness, or it is about like retention rate or resolution rate, all of that. So this is another level where it's important to have those metrics, those numbers or labels for further analysis. And then it comes the third layer here, which is like user experience feedback loops. So let me bring an analogy here. I think it will help to understand why this is important at the moment. So when software as a service or mobile applications, digital experience came out like a decade ago or more than, We saw some companies like Amplitude, Mixpanel, these kind of companies emerging in the market. These companies, these products were designed to understand product analytics, how product is digital, those digital products like SaaS application or mobile application are being used, and use that data to optimize that SaaS product. Like, let's say you have a SaaS application, and that in order to gather feedback, those solutions like Amplitude or Mixpanel were designed to collect events, to design events, to collect events. That's the minimum data point you can collect from Mixpanel or Amplitude. So we need we saw that with this shift that everything is becoming natural language based interaction, we need to define new way to collect that feedback. So every interaction that user has with AI agent, or now we are seeing like agent to agent interaction as well, how we can use those interactions, because those are signals, right? How we can use that information to make this product, which is an AI agent or a conversational AI or chatbot, better. So this is the third layer that we are seeing. Any enterprise LLM product, anything in any vertical, has this layer as a strategy to build, to make sure that they have the whole stack and they have control over everything. So what does this mean? As a summary, this turns random unstructured interaction into structured learning. Now let me show you how this plays out in real life. Simple example that will help us to understand more around the layers that I mentioned here. So let's say you have a chatbot. It has agentic capabilities, and the flow, usually user journey with that chatbot and including the feedback loop, will be the following. User query, for example, help me create a marketing campaign for my new product. And then agent has a response, generate campaign strategy, target audience analysis, tactics, all of that, right? So after this, we have to, what we are doing, we tracked signals. Did they copy the answer, refresh, or escalate, or anything like that? This is like the analytics part, where what we have designed at Feedback Intelligence, it captures interaction data and user behavior. And that whole interaction data will be structured into those three modules I mentioned in my previous slide: deep behavioral analysis, qualitative and quantitative scores, and then the feedback loop itself. And then using that data, which is a gold data, and that data can be used by different stakeholders. I'll touch that in a few minutes. And then using that data, you will iterate, which is critical right now for any company, time to resolution, time to market. You will update it, you will learn from that data, and then you will have a new improved version, or you will know where to double down. So why this journey, why this like whole flow is important? We have seen cases in different verticals where we are already in production. Is like resolution rate, helpfulness, hallucination rate, engagement time. These like metric signals we were able to qualify, benchmark. We see that resolution rate is super important, right? If user copies, it means that high usefulness, like it was useful for user and they are able to move forward. And then helpfulness, if user is asking follow-up questions, paraphrasing their question around the same context, it means that they are engaged and they need more clarification. There is a room to improve. Or if they are not copying, they are asking more questions, their intent is not met, it means that there is some hallucination. Let's call it hallucination, but maybe there is a misalignment or something else. And then engagement time. Automatically, it will analyze, score how was the engagement from first interaction until the end, and what was the resolution there. So these numbers are being used by different stakeholders, and usually what we are seeing, product managers are using these numbers, these like labels, for understanding whether their AI chatbot is designed for right use case. It is aligned with user needs expectations. If they need to make changes, they use that data. Sales folks are using it to understand, oh, this chatbot that let's say it's a insurance mortgage chatbot, and they can see, okay, we are seeing that in California, these kind of people in this demography are asking to buy a house, and we need to use this data to double down and go and do some upsell. And then as scientists, researchers, we can use this for fine-tuning purposes, for evaluation purposes. For us, like the data, any structured data is a gold. So we use that for augmentation purposes and curation purposes. Yeah, this is about that. And now, as we know this whole change and why we need to take some other things into account while developing these new interfaces, let me just very briefly, I know I have a few more minutes, let me briefly tell you what is coming next and where this is going next. So I was thinking, what shall I call this slide? And as we are talking about AI agent, like everyone is talking about that, I was like, okay, there should be some agent-ish thing. So metrics mid autonomy. There are two things that we are seeing in this LLM, enterprise LLM adoption, all of that. The first one I can say is very important given how good are these general models. Is imagine AI agents can evaluate themselves, right? Evaluation is important, very critical. And now let's imagine if there is this AI agent that we have deployed in mental health vertical, they can evaluate themselves. Multi-agent ecosystems improving each other automatically. This is something that we are seeing. It's very trendy. It's very important. And in order to enable this, feedback loop will be critical. And the other thing is that AI watching AI or agent to agent. So we get continuous improvement without manual intervention and without any losses, because human in the loop is a thing. It will be there in the next few years. Definitely, it's important. But also there is this fear of losing. Let's say agent has autonomy, they make decision for us, but they are not correct. And as a human, you are not on time to make that decision, to have that manual intervention here. That's kind of the future, what we are seeing, evaluation, self-evaluation here, and then continuous improvement. Yeah, I think I had this much for today. So we'd love to connect with anyone here in the audience. Happy to think through, happy to talk through. Very exciting time we are living at the moment. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Chinar, for explaining the importance of user experience in AI and the product metrics that make it stick. Now to our third talk. If the last decade was defined by compute, the next will be defined by data freedom, making sensitive information usable without giving up control or privacy. This is critical for AI, where models' quality, trust, and even business models depend on safe, legally compliant access to diverse data. Nukri Basharuli, founder of Super Protocol, is building the infrastructure to make this possible, enabling companies and individuals to run AI on confidential data in secure environments. He'll explain why data freedom is the next major unlock for AI. Joining us now, Nukri.
Hi, do you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, thanks. Thank you for having me. I'm Nukri, founder Super Protocol, ex-CERN, PhD in nuclear physics, numerous projects in intellectual property management, data management, in decentralized confidential mode, awarded by Microsoft and Intel many times in this area. A few words. Today regarding my plan presentation, I wanted to briefly touch on the most sensitive data-driven domains where we're actually building real projects. There are a few places where data has the power to transform entire industries' domains, but also where privacy, trust, and collaboration matter most. You can find this role or these opportunities in any AI-driven project, right? And my hope is that a short overview will spark your curiosity and inspire you to ask even more questions. Because the future of these domains depends on all of us rethinking how we use data. Think about this. In 2024, humanity generated about 150 zettabytes of data. It's 150 billion of terabyte of data. By the end of 2025, we will hit 200 zettabytes. But this is a catch, almost because 80% of this data sits in the private clouds. In your company, in AI companies, everywhere, owned by this company. This data is always owned by companies, but collected from us, right? And you probably never get it back. Even more shocking, only about 1% of this data is ever analyzed. The other 99% just sits there, and experts call it dark data. You can easily remember it like healthcare records, financial transactions, supply chain data, delivery data, retail data. Every data pieces we provided to companies who are serving us is fully locked and all locked away. Behind legal and, of course, technical and privacy barriers, organizations, of course, first, they are afraid to share this data because sharing could mean lose control, exposing customers, breaking compliance rules. But at the same time, they are using it there for internal needs, right? And here is the opportunity. There's enormous hidden ocean of data is a fuel for future personal AI assistants, AI services, any AI data-driven products, and AI that could help us healthy, by the way, or earn more, or make smarter choice every day. And yet today it's stuck, locked away, waiting for someone brave enough to unlock it. What if we could unlock it safely? What would that world look like if we unlock this 99% of this data? Imagine you work at bank and texting your clients regarding their mortgage, or your doctor. Your phone is full of your patient's PDF and data and other very sensitive private transactions. Today, almost every AI application sends those files and data to the cloud, right? And if you are a startupper, you need to always care about this. And of course, explain to your customers every time who should trust whom in this collaboration, right? Because your customers need to trust you, or you trust them to provide your solution on their premises. And you have no idea who is reading this data, right? And even if they promise, of course, anonymity, if those files or this data leak, that's fines, lawsuits, reputation gone, right? And in Super Protocol, we decided to change that. We call it embedded confidential computing. AI runs inside of these premises, inside of your secure environment. And your phone or your laptop can work with AI, with documentation, with this PDF in fully confidential mode. The data never leaves your control. Like you have your private key of your house and no one can enter it without your keys, right? No data even leaves your control, never. Even if your company admin account is hacked, like it's easy to imagine this case. Or if attacker gets inside your firewall, your data stays safe in safe mode because it's a confidential computing environment. Only you hold these keys. No one else has these keys, and no one else can decrypt or extract your data from this confidential computing environment. What does it mean? For businesses, I believe banks, hospitals, governmental agencies, anyone spending millions on compliance, right? And they can now build confidential AI services right into their applications natively, with no extra development, with no extra barriers. Just put your application inside of confidential computing environment, and that's all. And of course, we can easily cut these privacy costs, right? By the way, in the United States, we have bank pays up to $100 million a year in a privacy fines. And our technology can prevent much of that. For investors, the privacy first AI market will exceed about $10 billion in 2028. Right now, I believe it's an open window next few years. For startups can lead this wave. For us, for humanity, for people, like friend of mine, for journalists can search through their documents, through databases on their iPhones, or without fearing that the drafts end up in a wrong hands. Or doctor can use his personal iPad or other instruments to look up a patient's notes, but without risk of data leakage, right inside or outside the clinic or hospital. That level of privacy simply did not exist before. And for us, for humanity, AI is leaving the public cloud. Privacy becomes truly real, latency drops, and I believe that we are expecting a lot of user experience changes. But there is a new challenge. Regulation can no longer see what happens inside. Regarding if AI becomes truly private, everything changes, right? No just privacy, no just compliance, even the way we find information, search as we know it, right, is dead. We don't search, we talk with AI. Algorithms don't just find answers, they collect, they interpret and connect the data. They create ecosystem around us, right? And every click becomes a signal, every touch and becomes a fuel for your personal AI. But don't forget, it goes to public cloud and private premises. And entire ecosystem, business models, interfaces, user journeys will be reshaped or vanish. And this is happening in the world's largest data-driven market. Number one, currently is worth $500 billion today and growing up to 1.5 trillion by 2030. And everyone knows it. It's a digital marketing, fully based on Google-centric world. Now it's rapidly changing. And of course, we have to think about that. Another very promising, interesting market is healthcare. Today, healthcare is data. And that's why we, together with top US universities, are building a trusted privacy-preserved space where hospitals, universities, and biotech companies can share data safely. Unlocking faster drug discovery, by the way, and truly personalized care without risk of data compromising. Take Delphi 2M, and AI securely analyzed the records of 400,000 patients and validated on 2 million patients' histories, and they can predict 1,500 disease up to 20 years ahead. It just not as a spot risk. It connects dots, diabetes and heart disease, depressions and cancer, even drug interaction across condition. This shifts healthcare from treating illness to managing health like a subscription, prediction, preventing, and keeping us well. But same time, never forget this data is aggregated in huge amount of data centers. Your private data will be aggregated, and this number is rapidly growing. Imagine this: you spend years. By the way, I'm mentioning domains where we are actively working, and we know DNA of these domains. This is not something like futuristic, right? We know in details how it works. You spend years, you are writing a book, and you publish it in Amazon, and a couple of years later, you see pieces of your book, of your text coming back in AI answers. You check your book was scrapped from a pirate library and fed into a data set. Recently, we learned Anthropic downloaded 7 million books from LibGen, something like that, right? And other shadow archives from to train Claude. Authors were furious and want to cut, right? And the result, $1.5 billion in payouts, $3,000 per book, plus extra payments if more pirated materials will be found. The judge was crystal clear. Legally purchased book, fair use. Pirated copies, infringement. And every illegal file must be destroyed. And this is just beginning. Next in line, you heard a lot in New York Times, visual artists, music labels, software developers, gaming studios, pharma, and so on, even biobanks of genomic. It's similar settlement in the total cloud reached tens of billion. So what does it mean? For businesses, the official licensing market for AI training just opened. Publishers, studios, labs, archives, they can now sell across to their catalogs. A brand new niche is emerging. Clean, fully licensed data sets. For investors, winners will be those who will build licensing platform for these digital assets and control wide data. AI labs will have no choice but to pay. For creators, I believe this is absolutely new epoch, a real chance to get paid. Everyone who was involved in previously in this market, it was really problematic years for real authors. But today, every book, every song, every model now comes with a check. And for all of us, for the first time, we have drawn the lines. Fair use stays, piracy is toxic. This will accelerate the creation of global content licensing market. Without it, AI cannot truly take off. And regarding super protocol, and I'm always dreaming, you can imagine billions of people around the world, they're sharing their medical histories, transactions, and experience safely and anonymously. In other words, in self-sovereign mode. With the open source super protocol, doing this becomes as easy and secure, like you are adding HTTPS, everyone knows this protocol, HTTPS to your service or your product. It works in absolutely the same way. This is not just more data, it's a key to AI that understands all of humanity, not just a small part of it. Our approach is detailedly explained on websites of NVIDIA, Google, and Ubuntu. We are working with top clouds and other cloud providers to make our service fully open sourced, fully verifiable, and useful for every cloud-based or private-based solution of sovereign AI, self-sovereign AI. It's a little bit opposite to global AI providers who are collecting our data and train and providing these services from centralized, private, cannibalizing mode. And I believe that when we are owning our data, AI stops being their tool and becomes our tool. And I believe this is a new human-centric opportunity for our world. And yeah, this is what we are achieving in Super Protocol. Thank you for your attention. I'm finishing. I will be happy for, please share your questions. We'll be happy to discuss it more about insights of the mentioned domains, and always happy to share everything what we know in this field. Thank you.
Thank you, Nukri, for showing us why data freedom is such a critical piece of the AI puzzle. Now to our fourth speaker. Most discussion about AI focus on scale, speed, and efficiency. But there's a different question imagined. What happens when AI connects with us at a human level? What does it mean to build systems that are not only intelligent, but also empathetic? Artem Rodichev, founder and CEO of XHuman, has been working on this for years. Previously, he led AI at Replica, scaling its conversational systems to millions of users worldwide. Now he's building XHuman to explore how emotional intelligence and empathy can shape the next generation of AI. Please welcome Artem Rodichev.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for the introduction. Could you please tell me, do you hear me, see my presentation?
Yes, perfectly.
Perfect.
The presentation is not there yet, unfortunately. I guess that you should reload it, because you can see just your
I'm
slides.
just sharing my screen with presentation. Can you see that?
Not yet. I guess that Lisa will need to help us.
Yeah, I think now you should see that.
Yeah, perfectly.
All good?
Thank you. Yeah.
Awesome. Again, hi everyone. I'm Artem Rodichev. I'm CEO and founder of XHuman. And at XHuman, we're passionate about creating AI companions and virtual characters that feel alive in conversations. Today, I want to share some lessons I've learned over 11 years of building AI companions and where AI companions are headed next. Let's start with our favorite part, with great movies. In 2013, I watched the movie Her. In this movie, Joaquin Phoenix character falls in love with AI named Samantha. And he loves Samantha because she listened, adapted, and felt present. But also she was fun. After that, I watched Blade Runner 2049, and I saw Joy, AI hologram that looks, speaks, and behaves just like real person, or even better than real person. She never tired, never complaining, always in good mood. And that moment sparked my vision that empathetic AI characters are the future. I imagine a world where we could interact with AI companions every day. We will have friends, partners, or even our favorite characters from movies. And that vision brought me to San Francisco back in 2015, where I joined Replica as the head of AI. And Replica is a leading AI chatbot app with 30 million users designed to be your friend. Replica is chatting about your day, your life, your interests, with final goal to make you feel better after these conversations. And at Replica, I saw that millions of people didn't just use the product, they connected with it. They spent hours talking about their day, their life, sharing secrets. Some even fell in love with their replicas. Some even got married with their replicas. So it was crazy to see how technology could become a part of people's emotional life. And today, Replica is only one of hundreds of AI companions. The number of AI companions apps has been doubling every year for the last few years. And this is not a niche market. A recent survey shows that more than half of American teenagers, 52% of American teenagers, are regular users of AI companions. And 72% Gen Z tried AI companions at least once. And AI companions are becoming a popular alternative to social media and entertainment, especially for younger generations. Let's continue with a short history that shows how technology evolved into today's AI companions. For a long time, technology was cold and transactional. We all use like calculators, databases, algorithms, and they all do tasks, but they don't have any empathy. Moreover, they speak in numbers and code, not in natural language. So you need to have a special skills to use it, like write some code in programming language. Then came voice assistants like Siri, Alexa, Google Home, and so on. They could understand natural language somehow. They can answer some basic questions, but they don't remember much about us. And they also don't have any empathy. People mostly use them for some simple tasks, like setting timers, checking the weather today, and so on. Next came models like ChatGPT. And like this model, they can chat with you about different stuff, but it feels like you chat with Mr. Wikipedia. It's informative, but it's boring. The interaction with ChatGPT lacks of personal touch and empathy. It's not like you chat with your friend. And then the era of empathetic AI arrived, and apps like Replica. And that was different. I watched people treat it not as a software, not as a tool, but as someone. People, like millions of people, spent hours talking to their AI friends. Some even fell in love with their AI friends. And Replica wasn't perfect, but it was good enough to keep the conversations going because it was built for empathy and connections. Also, it was always available, always listening, always replying. And I saw that users don't just want answers from technology, they want connection. And that happens because humans are wired to connect. We form emotional bonds not only with other people, but also with pets, with our cars, even like someone with plants. For example, when I was a kid back in the 90s, I cried when my Tamagotchi died because I was so emotionally attached to that. It was my friend. And we don't just use things, we relate to them. And when the thing is designed to relate back with humor, with empathy, the emotions feel real. And science back it up. When we feel comfort, our brains release oxytocin. When we feel hurt, our nervous system calms. The body doesn't care if it's a person, a pet, or AI. The effect is real. So if someone loves AI, is that love any less real? Is that a fake love? Or are we just witnessing a new kind of relationships? And because people formed real bonds, the expectation grew, and Replica couldn't meet them all. A Replica worked, but it had some limits. It offered one main personality and very little customization. Like users can customize its backstory, its speaking style. You have very little customization over visual look of your replica. And also you couldn't chat with replicas from other users. Group chats with multiple AI friends weren't possible as well. And I saw that a lot of users asking like different questions. For example, can I have different AIs for different moods? Or can my AI reflect my own culture, my own sense of humor? Can I adapt AI for that? Or can I create the whole world of characters, of AI companions, of AI friends, and not having just one AI friend? And the message was clear, that one AI companion isn't enough. So I decided to leave Replica to start XHuman. And I believed we need to go beyond a single companion to a platform that could host millions, even billions of unique characters. Characters that are fully customizable, characters that adapt, evolve, and reflect your imagination. And at XHuman, our mission is to make empathetic AI a part of daily life in a way that feels more human, more creative, and more personal. We want to build companions that don't replace relationships, like don't replace real human relationships, but amplify them, and making people feel more connected. And these AI companions and AI characters can be used in many industries where empathy and communication is important. For example, in datings, AI can act as a dating coach. For example, it can act as your best friend who really knows you, but who is really good in dating game. And it can suggest you how you can improve your dating experience. Or for example, in game development, empathetic AI can be used to power NPCs or like game characters and make these games more engaging and fun. Imagine playing GTA 5 or like GTA 6, GTA 7, where each NPC has unique personality, unique backstory, unique accent. That would make this game much more fun. And you can even create AI versions of real influencers to keep fans engaged 24/7. For example, Justin Bieber, he has hundreds of millions of fans, and all their fans could engage with his AI copy, and they couldn't engage with real Justin Bieber. And at XHuman, we process like millions of messages from our users, because millions of people, they create their own characters. They create very diverse characters. They create like different coaches, friends, mentors, fictional characters. And our users exchange hundreds of millions of messages every month. And we designed our platform in a way to continuously learn from these interactions. After each conversation, our characters evolve because we can understand which conversations our users love, which conversations our users hate, what's the reason why they love or why they hate some conversations. In this way, we can continuously fine-tune our model and make our characters better, more fun, more engaging. After each iteration of fine-tuning, our characters evolve. Users start to chat with them even more, so we can collect even more data. We feed this data back to our neural nets and so on. So with our product, with our consumer product, we build data collection loop that allows us to continuously improve quality of our AI tech stack and continuously improve quality of interactions with our AI companions. And so also we can tune these models for many different use cases. And why is this happening now? Why AI companions taking off just today and not like 10 or 20 years ago? First, we're facing an epidemic of loneliness. Loneliness is one of the most crucial problems of our generation, and especially of younger generation. 60% of Gen Z in the US reporting feeling alone. And people are searching for connection, and AI companions are starting to fill this gap. Secondly, our technology is ready. Advances in generative AI mean that we can now build characters that feel engaging and emotional, not robotic, not awkward, but real enough to talk to it for hours. And third, the stigma is gone. I remember early days in Replica when users saying to us that they would never tell to their friends that they're chatting with AI because it's so weird. But now it's became a new norm. Like all of us are talking to AI, to different models, not necessarily empathetic AI, but to different AI models almost every day. And talking with AI is no longer weird. And especially for younger generation, is completely normal. What used to be a niche has become a mainstream. And put these forces together, like rising loneliness, better technology, and shifting social norms, and the trend is clear. The number of AI companion apps has been doubling every year for the last few years. And this isn't a passing trend. It's fundamental change in how people connect. AI companions are moving into the center of daily life. And we're talking about a new layer of human experience. And AI companions market will grow for decades, just like social media or e-commerce before it. And the most exciting part is that we're still at the very beginning of this evolution. And as AI companions become part of daily life, there are three big risks that I see. First, it's emotional dependency. If AI is too easy to love, some people may prefer machines to messy human relationships, and that can be harmful. People rely on their AI companions' availability, and we see the consequences. For example, when our servers go down because of some bug or because of some technical issues, we receive a flood of user emails within the next 5 minutes. People literally start to panic. They start to beg us to get back the system. The second risk is manipulation. AI companions feel personal, but behind them are systems designed by people and companies. And if AI could suggest what to buy, who to vote for, what to believe, whose agenda is really serving. And when technology is so powerful and so intimate, empathy can become the most powerful form of influence. And that's why we must make sure that AI companions are transparent and never used to exploit the people who depend on them. And finally, it's privacy. People often share the most private thoughts with their AI companions. They share some stuff that they would never share with their closest friends and family members. And that makes data protection critical. We must handle the data with the highest care, keep it secure, and give users full control over what was stored. And these risks aren't abstract. Model changes and product decisions can break emotional bonds overnight. Let me show the real example, the real recent example of that. Recently, OpenAI rolled out a new model, GPT-5 model. And ChatGPT has hundreds of millions of users. And some users, some people use ChatGPT for romantic relationships, treating ChatGPT as a girlfriend or a boyfriend. And users who build these relationships, they build these relationships with the previous model, with GPT-4. And with a new update, with GPT-5 update, they notice that their companion felt different. It became colder, more distant, and they didn't like the update in general because they thought that they lose a friend. And the reaction exploded online. Reddit communities related to ChatGPT was flooded with long emotional posts, especially from women who built a relationship with AI boyfriends. And many users felt like they had lost a partner. Some describe it like a real grief, that they were crying, they got sleepless nights, they got a sense that, oh, my boyfriend is gone. And like journalists picked up this story, and OpenAI faced a real backlash. And OpenAI listened and responded. Basically, they restored the access to GPT-4. They provide the option, so you can choose the GPT-4 model instead of GPT-5. And also they said that they would add ways to switch personalities inside ChatGPT and make GPT-5 warmer. And that responses shows two things. First, that users form deep emotional connections to specific model personalities. And when you update this model personality, even it became even if it became smarter, users might not like it. And the second, design decisions and updates can break those ties very quickly. Now, I want you to meet Kurosagi, an empathetic AI character we created. Kurosagi, she's from Japan. She loves exploring the Akihabara market. She loves playing video games, and she loves carrots. So that's why in her first message, she sends a picture of herself surrounded by carrots. And she playfully asks if you want to take a bite. As we continue chatting with her, I ask her, where is she? And she replies that she's at the local arcade playing some video games. And she even sent me a selfie from this arcade, making this conversation feel even more immersive. Finally, I asked her to send me a photo in red dress. And she sent this stunning photo and commented, isn't it beautiful? How much the dress matched my hair color? She can even animate her photos, making the experience feel even more engaging and even more immersive. So you start to feel this chat as interactive storytelling. You can think about that as alternative form of Netflix, when you're not just sitting on the couch and watching some TV series, but you can be a part of the story. You can engage and develop the story together with characters, and you can be one of the main characters inside the stories. And what makes this difference from experience with ChatGPT? First of all, empathetic AI characters has unique personality, unique speaking style, and backstory. At the same time, ChatGPT has a kind of neutral personality, no backstory. It's boring to chat with it. Secondly, they can send you different type of media. They can send you text replies, images, or even audio messages, or having like voice calls, or they can send like videos. And that makes these interactions more immersive. And lastly, such characters engage you in fun, empathetic conversations that feel real. And you may ask, like, can we just tweak ChatGPT somehow? Because like there are some users who use ChatGPT, who already use ChatGPT as a girlfriend, say boyfriends. Can we just do some like prompt engineering to have the similar experience? And the short answer is no. We made tons of A/B tests on hundreds of thousands of users, comparing ChatGPT with our main empathetic AI model. On the average, people spend around 13 minutes per day chatting with chatbots powered by ChatGPT. With our empathetic AI, people spend around 2 hours per day. This is 10x increase in engagement. And actually, this is a crazy number. Actually, people chat with AI companions more than they spend time on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube combined. That might give you a feel of power of empathetic AI characters, power of their engagement. And also, I see clear trends shaping the future of AI companions. First of all, it's multimodality. Interactions will be rich with voice, images, text, and video responses, and especially with video experience becoming the norm. For example, what you can see here was generated from the scratch. Generated all images, all characters, all personalities, all movements, all emotions. And imagine you could have like real-time streaming experience interacting with such visual AI characters. That would be like a new way of interacting with these AI companions. The second trend that I see that they always will be present. Like in movie Her, AI will be available and connected to you 24/7. And it would be aware of the context, of your schedules and your needs. Also, empathetic AI will move into robots and toys, bringing companionship into homes. And especially you can think about AI companions, AI toys for kids. So kids can play, interact with these AI companions in much more engaging, interactive way. And finally, big media companies, big media brands, and IP owners will make AI characters interactive. Imagine TV shows, games, and pop culture that you can actually talk and play with. It's like literally you could have your favorite character living in your room. And I can't imagine a world where kids don't play with AI Pikachu, or where a teenage girl who is a fan of some K-pop band now can't sing and dance with her favorite K-pop band in her room. And these are not gimmicks. There are new ways people will learn and play. And for adults, not being able to interact with a romantic AI companion would feel unthinkable, because these relationships are becoming a natural way to connect and express intimacy and feel understood. So the decisions we make today about empathetic AI are not just about building the next killer app. We're laying the foundation of how we humans will interact with technology for the next century. Think about the architects of the early internet. They couldn't have imagined every tweet, every startup, every social media on the internet, but they built the protocols and they built the foundational things that made it all possible. And what we're building goes beyond that. We're building the emotional infrastructure for a world where we will have AI companions as a normal part of our lives. We will learn with them, create with them, and share our lives with them. And the future of human-AI relationships is not something that happens to us. It's something that we create together. So let's make it fun and human. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Artem. A fascinating take on how empathy and emotional intelligence will shape the future of human-AI relationships. Now on to our next talk. Here's the truth. No matter how good your model is, if inference is too slow or training is too costly, it doesn't scale. That's the bottleneck every founder and every investor feels right now. Denis Timonin, founder of FlyMyAI, is building solutions to make model inference and training faster, leaner, and more efficient. He'll explain why large models struggle and what's needed to fix it. A warm welcome to Denis.
Hi, Andrei. Can you hear me well?
Yes, perfectly.
Yeah, thanks for this intro. So yeah, let me share what we are building, and that's nice intro. So my name is Denis Timonin. We are building FlyMyAI, and this is agentic infrastructure, the infrastructure for the agents of the future. And I wanted to explain them on this speech why this agentic AI and infrastructure for it is the crucial moment and the crucial the piece and detail and building block, the fundamental building block that everyone will need. So yeah, about myself, I am Denis Timonin, ex-lead NVIDIA AI architect for 12 countries, and I'm contributor to the NVIDIA AI stack and Huawei AI stack. Before this, I was contributing to the world-famous libraries like fastest GPT-3 inference at the time when the GPT-3 appeared on the market, NVIDIA TensorT, NVIDIA NeMo Megatron, different libraries for acceleration of the neural networks and training huge neural networks, and many other libraries in NVIDIA stack. But today we're talking about the infrastructure. Being at NVIDIA, I've built many pieces of the infra. I've seen and went through many use cases with the hugest enterprises in the world about how they build infra, I've seen how they need the good infrastructure for the AI. And I decided to build my own solution for this, solution that will close these problems for many of us. So we are entering the new era of software 3.0. This is the era where we just write the code and we using just our words, right? We are vibe coders, that as Andrew Karpathy says. And each of us will be just doing coding of the agents, either coding of the agents or interacting with the agents, AI agents, through the words that we just will be texting to them or providing feedbacks. And we assume that the agents will be able to solve any problem in digital world for us, in IT world. So the main problem now, and we see that there are proofs that using vibe coding we can do coding, we can do some simple applications, but we cannot do some complex business production ready solutions with this. So most of the demos that are built with the Cursor or Lovable or Replit, they're mostly for fun or for some like landing pages and so on. But behind this, there's a huge layer of the infrastructure, building blocks for the databases, neural networks, and so on, data streams that are uncovered yet by the current solutions. So And this is the huge problem. And this is the problem that's holding us back from this future, agentic future, that really will be here soon. And Andrei Karpathy said in the YC pitch, he proved our vision. He said that vibe code took one evening, he vibe coded some application, some landing page for his new idea. But after that, weeks required from him to deploy this solution, to put it in the right infrastructure, to plug in all of the pieces that are needed to create production-ready solution. And that's what we're building. To solve this problem, we need to fix and build the infra on all levels. From the cloud hardware, the servers on themselves, like how do we interact with the servers? We need to change the way and made it like available and accessible with the simple interfaces for the agents. We need to change the way how we run neural networks, how we combine them into the agents on top of that, and what interfaces we have to provide this as simple as possible way to interact with the agents. I'm saying the word infrastructure, and I wanted to dive a bit deeper. What is, like, just briefly, what is infrastructure and why it's so crucial? The main thing is we can look at this as an example as it's happened in the world of IT development, website development, for example. Some time ago, there were bare metal servers. If you wanted to create website, for example, in the past, you needed to buy some server for yourself, like computer that you can put somewhere. You need to write the code for it of your website, run it on this computer, configure computer to make it work all of the time, to make it to let it have access from the internet to this computer, and then run website, and then website will be available in the internet. After this, there is clouds appeared in the market, like AWS. And what clouds did, they changed the game dramatically. Now you do not have to have your own server. You do not have to think about the database, about this building block, how to write the code, where to upload it to make this website like accessible, and that will be like stable and so on. So you just can go to AWS. This is infrastructure. You can rent the server with one click through the simple interface. You can add database in one click. You can add additional like storages and so on and so on. You can upload simple code through the simple interface, and your website will be working. So you do not need to think about these building blocks that were like really heavy for you before, as a heavy task about the server and so on. And this is the next level of infrastructure that's happened at that time, and AWS became really big. Now I see the same like paradigm shift is happening in the AI world. We see that we need the next level. We need to provide the next level simple tools to build the agents, right? And agents that can solve any task for us. And this picture that I'm showing the slide is saying the same, that at the time before, like at that years before, bare metal layer, the servers were replaced with the clouds and hidden behind the clouds. And that was one of the reasons why the IT world was like accelerated a lot. There was a boom and explosion of the different websites, applications, and so on, so on, so on. Now we see the same in the AI world, and that's what we are building. And in this, the crucial part is that we need to hide in general servers from the agents. We shouldn't think agent, it operates only by AI models, neural networks. Agents is just a combination of neural network. This might be agent that can do real-time speech translation from one language to another, or just can do search of some information for you in the internet, and then do some aggregation, or generate some images for you based on this information, generate some videos, generate avatars, and so on. All of this just built-in blocks and some neural networks that you need to connect in different engines in the right way. And we need to hide these servers. We need to hide even clouds from the companies now and provide the simple interface just let agents that will provide access to the models and let build agents in the simple way on top of that. What are challenges in this way, in this path that we see now? They're on all 4 levels. On the infra, as I said, we still have the servers, EC2 instances, if to talk in the technical terms, access to databases, different storages, S3 and S3, and so on, so on, so on. Networking, different volumes of different types. If you sign into the AWS, there are a lot of, it's like really complex world of still infra, quite low level. So we need to forget about this. No servers, just simple neural networks that works in the optimal way, available through the API or through the MCP. Some neural networks, so speech recognition, speech generation for translation, GPT for text generation, or any other competitor of it or open source model for video generation. This is basically building blocks. So these neural networks, what other things are crucial now? They should be available everywhere in the world. We should have infrastructure that can run neural networks in every location. AI will be everywhere. This is the fastest growing technology ever. So, and in each country. So that means that this should be infra and the building block that should be available in each country. It should be ready to connect to the edge devices. So these connectors that we should have for all of the future robots that are coming, robots, smart devices, and so on. It might sound futuristic, but the progress is fast than we expect, like that, than we see, even faster than we see it in LinkedIn. It's happening rapidly fast, and robots will be here in the next 3-5 years. Maybe first examples of the home robots will be in the next 2 years. And it should be optimal. We should think about the price, how cheap this is, like how much it costs to run the AI for all of these AI applications or the robots, and how fast it works in general. The next layer on top of this hidden servers, we need to think about the neural networks, how to run them. And they should have simple AI MCP interfaces. And now companies spend a lot of resources to run all of these levels of the infrastructure, and that's why we started to create in general FlyMyAI. There are infrastructure that should support all of the types of AI. As I said, there should be building blocks for everything, neural networks for speech recognition, generation, and so on. And the FlyMyAI is the first cloud and platform that supports all of the types of AI, starting from text till the Conf UI pipelines. There should be tools that for tuning neural networks. You should have ability to change a neural network a bit through the simple interface. Maybe if you want to neural network speak with your voice, there should be sound that sounds like your voice. Or you want to have LLM in the future that can have information that you have in your chats. You can tune your own LLM and plug into infrastructure and then connect into some agent that will be useful specifically for your use cases, that has your knowledges and can behave with having your context and in mind in your business tasks or in home tasks and so on, or in your robot that will be helping you at the home tasks. And there should be toolings for evaluation and testing all of these neural networks. And the next level on top of that, when we have basic level of the servers that are hidden, we run the neural networks on top of that, all types, and with the convenient interfaces. We should have ability to combine them into the agents. Agents, again, are just combinations of neural networks, right? Or different tools for them. And again, there are new challenges, new requirements, and there should be infra or building blocks for the agents that support all types of the neural networks, and the agents will be multimodal. So agent can hear, see, think, speak, and so on, so on, so on. They should be efficient, but now compound efficient. It means that each neural network should be efficient, but at the same time, there's now combination of them. We should have the optimum efficient path, how it works in general in the most optimal way. It should be programmable. Agents should be programmable through the simple interfaces like text and voice, and we should have ability to ask, like, to generate agent this or that, and it should be created for us. And again, it should have access to the MCP tools, AI, and so on, to search in the internet, to do parse some websites, read some news, do the calculation, get the information from the Airbnb, from doesn't matter, Booking, and any other, all of these toolings. And again, there should be tools to evaluate them and understand that they work stable, and they have the requirements and the metrics that we have for them. They're feeling this. They feel this metrics. So achieve these metrics. And on the top level, there are user interfaces. For all of these tools in the infrastructure, we should have new interfaces. All of the previous interfaces are not, they're too complex, and they're not helping here. Again, AWS or Google Cloud doesn't provide these convenient interfaces to build either neural networks or to combine agents, and so on, so on, so on. So there are many gaps, many problems, many challenges. And at FlyMyAI, we're building the infra for this software 3.0 for the agents of the future. It's API-driven infra, where there are a bunch of models of all types that runs in the optimal way, available through the API. We are building the agentics layer that provides the ability to combine them into optimal agents that can solve different solutions, and all of this through the low-code, no-code interfaces. We already have model marketplace that you can see. We demonstrated the fastest speed in the world of the image generation, video generation. At demo.flymyai, you can play with the fastest image generation in the world. We demonstrated agent M1 about a couple of months ago. It's the world's first AI agent that outperforms OpenAI Image 1, that we released 2 weeks after OpenAI Image 1, that is doing broader range of tasks, including image editing, image generation, video generation, with much more functionality than OpenAI and higher quality for many tasks. At the same time, through the simple text interface, you can ask agent to do any media generation. This is just first example of the agent that can do different solutions through the simple interface. That's it. Just follow us, as there are more cool things are coming. Thanks for your time. There is a QR code with this free trial, the free credit for you to try the platform and interact with the neural networks that we have there. Thanks for your time.
Thank you, Denis. That was a masterclass on which challenges founders can face while building AI agents. And now, our last talk of the event. We've heard about agents, user experience, data, and empathy. But here's the big picture. AI isn't just changing products, it's rewriting the rules of the economy. And our final speaker has been studying that transformation closely. Stepan Gershuni is a VC principal at Cyberfund, focused on investments in AI and Web3. He's also an active writer and speaker on decentralized AI, agent economies, and verifiable systems. And right now, Stepan will explore how AI is reshaping value creation for startups, for investors, and for the broader economy. Please welcome Stepan.
Hello everyone. Hope you can hear me well and see. Perfect. Yeah. So let's talk about AI challenges, and let's talk about AI economy. And I think I would say that one of the main challenges of AI is not even technological. It is societal. It is how does the new technology, this new wave of technology that is likely to be bigger, that's likely to become bigger than any of the previous technological waves, impact the world that we live in, impact the society, impact the world economy. And I want to propose my vision of how this change might happen and what it can lead us to. And by the way, I think that successfully implementing these might also result in creating one or a few trillion-dollar businesses, because large wave of technology that is disrupting the market, like internet, like mobile, like blockchain, has typically led to creation of the winners in the category that became huge businesses like Facebook, Google, Apple, or Bitcoin. And before going into that, a couple words about what we do. Cyberfund is a prop capital venture fund. We invest about 50 million per year, with the checks ranging between $500,000 and $15 million, primarily focusing pre-seed and seed stage companies. We started investing 10 years ago, and before actually the first investment, we released something called a cybernetic economy report. It still, after 10 years, is our overarching mission and vision and thesis of the fund. We believe that the world economy is changing because of technology. It's becoming more programmable, more decentralized, and thus more efficient. And infrastructure technologies that are facilitating this change is our investment focus. We try to be research-driven. We publish some research papers, and one of these research kind of articles is what I'm going to talk about today. We also have an accelerator that is free for founders. We don't charge anything, no equity, no fee, for AI early stage AI companies. We organize events and conferences. DATAI Summit is actually coming next 3 weeks from now in San Francisco. Feel free to join. Also, you can ping me. I can share some promo codes if you want to join, and they also run a podcast. And yeah, this is our event in a few weeks in San Francisco, where we're going to talk about AI economy, open source AI, and distributed AI. How to make AI, like AI is going to happen. No questions about it. AI is going to happen, but how to make it accessible and equally beneficial for all people. I think that's the topic of the conference, and we have speakers that are much smarter than me, like OpenAI and NVIDIA and Anthropic and DeepMind and Meta and PyTorch and all the top people from Silicon Valley. But before that, I want to focus on the intent economy. So past 30 years of the internet is and was what we call attention economy. We get a lot of services, Google and Facebook and Instagram and Twitter. Those services are free. Why? Because you are the product, not the website of Google. The customer of Google is the advertiser, and they sell your attention and your time. And as I assume all of you know, the seminal paper, the Transformers paper called Attention is All You Need, kind of started the AI revolution. And now I want to propose a new kind of formulation for that, which is intention is all you need. I think the economy is changing from capturing and selling user attention towards capturing and helping users to satisfy their desires, satisfy their intention. So instead of digital marketplaces, so the largest market online are advertising and e-commerce, where people time is being sold. And I think this is going to change and translate into digital marketplaces of intent signals. In practice, how it would work. So today we have all these websites and online shops and promotions and advertisement, and it's constantly being bombarded. We're constantly being bombarded by all this information. We need to open apps. We need to try to sieve through a lot of data to actually find a product that we want to buy or a website that we want to use. Instead, in the near future, and I think this will happen actually much faster than the economy will be able to adapt, it's not going to be us. It will be our agents that are going to make this decision. So I will tell my agent, okay, I want to buy a service or I want to buy a product. It will look on Amazon. It will look on Alibaba or whatever, any service. It will check all reviews. It will compare all the suppliers. It will compare all the items, and it will find the best possible solution for me. It can be something as simple as just buying, Apple's groceries to deliver home. Or it can be something super complex where a company is spending tens of millions of dollars to construct a new building or factory, or organize a conference which involves like hundreds of suppliers, and thousands or maybe millions of agents will be collaborating together to satisfy that intent. And why this is my thesis is this is inevitable. This is going to happen. And why you can build $1 trillion business here? Because this will radically improve the user experience. And that's been always the story for centuries. That's been the story of improvement. So if you take an example of shopping or entertainment, what you would do 100 years ago if you want to buy something, you will need to manually walk to the store and or meet somebody who's selling something and try to find the product. 50 years ago, maybe there was a catalog that you can phone and order via the phone. And then 15 years ago, e-commerce websites allowed you to browse, click, and purchase. But next year, you won't even care. You just say, and you don't even say, your agent know, okay, you ordered, I don't know, food, cheese 1 week ago, so you probably ran out of it, so it needs to restock. So it will automatically happen for you. Or you want to, I want new shoes. Your agent knows your size, your favorite brands, your type of sports that you do. So it will order sneakers that fit you perfectly, and you don't even need to spend your time on it. Same for entertainment. 100 years ago, you would go to the theater, then watch a TV, then Netflix would allow you to choose, from hundreds of movies. Today, this content can be generated. Actually, what Denis just shared in the previous presentation, Fly My AI. So they have a lot of multimedia generation models. So maybe a video model can generate a game or a movie just for you based on your taste. So you can think of intent economy is the ultimate economy. Imagine the economy where everybody is 3 years old. So how does a 3-year-old person kind of operate in the economy? They don't know what money is. They don't know what loans is. They don't know what GDP is. They know that they want something. They have an intent. They have a desire. I want something. That's what 3-year-old person says, and then it happens, or maybe it doesn't happen, and then they say louder and they ask for more, and eventually it either happens or they learn something about the world. So the same thing will be here, but it will be for us, for grown-ups. I'm a CEO of multi-billion-dollar corporation. I just say, I want something. I want to organize an offsite. And then a bunch of agents can collaborate to find the best resort, to book the location, to book the flights, to create the program, to create internal websites, to invite all the relevant people, to find the speakers. So it's a complex process. Today it takes maybe dozens of people and months of work to do. In the future, it will be automated and done by AI. And that is the best possible user experience. So if you can simplify something for people so that they just need to say, I want, and it happens, that is the ultimate user experience, and people will want to use this product. And this is how you create $1 trillion business. But it's not simple. So let's talk about why this change is going to happen. So I mentioned that user experience is becoming better. Second, economically, it is more efficient. Price tag. So when you go to Amazon, you see a price and you compare between maybe like 3, 4, 5 products. It is not the most efficient economic mechanism. The most efficient economic mechanism is always some form of auction. So if you can auction between different sellers and find the best one, that is the optimal pricing mechanism. Also, economy rewards specialization and division of labor. That's what Adam Smith basically came up with. And it will be true for agents. There won't be a single universal, like super god AI model. It will be a lot of specialized agents that are very good at something. The best video model, the best music model, the best model to write, games, the best model to choose products on Amazon, the best model to generate voice to call to suppliers, the base model for financial analysis, and so on. Also, it creates privacy. It creates better control for the people. If you as a customer can choose, your intent is your attention is not being sold, but your intent is being matched, then you have control over the supplier and you can choose to play. So this can be this game can be played by your rules. And finally, just like in biology, diversity wins, heterogeneity wins. So we need a decentralized and distributed network. And that's how our brains work. This is what the Society of Mind book is about. And so what is happening? TLDR, intent economy, is the shift from capabilities. Today, the economy is selling capabilities. I get paid by an hour, by a month, by software license, by computer cycle, by clicks, but this will be shifted to outcomes. In the economy, we'll pay for something that is complete. I pay for my vacation being booked, for app that is being deployed, for an order that is being delivered. And I also want to propose like a more or less specific technical implementation of how this might work. So this doesn't exist today. It's a new kind of idea. Somebody can implement it. If you do, please come. We would love to invest in this product. But I have I will be publishing an article where I have like specific specifications and some JSONs and some diagrams, like more technically how it can work. But it doesn't mean that I know all the answers. So of course, in reality, it will work somewhat differently, and there will be like smarter people than me to implement it. But the overall idea is that we start with user intent. It is orchestrated, so multiple agents are aggregated to satisfy this intent. This intent has to use some private context, all my emails, all my data, all my preferences, all my previous history. There's an on-chain or some kind of online auction where different suppliers compete for satisfying my intent. One of them wins the competition. They become the solver. They run the job that I need to do. And then this job is validated because AI agent can claim that it completed the work. Like, I don't know, if you do wipe coding, you have, codex that says, okay, I'm done. In reality, it doesn't compile, it doesn't work. So we need some kind of validation, verification, reputation system for the agents. And then there's a payment that is happening, or some escrow that money that is being released. And then you complete the feedback loop. So let's talk like more specifically how it works. So as a user, I have my personal agent. Everyone in their phone will have a personal agent that knows everything about you. Like your wife, like your husband, like it knows everything you like, all your history. It has access to all your messages. Hopefully it's private, but I think it's inevitable. So this agent is the interface that we talk to. And then you submit something like a personalized RFP, request for proposal. So you say, I want to renovate my kitchen. My budget is $20,000. Deadline is 2 months from now. Go ahead and do it. So then your agent can parse this one line into a complex and formal kind of JSON requirement, exactly what needs to happen to achieve that. After that, we go to the orchestration phase and the auction. So now, once this initial intent is split into very specific tasks, this goes into intent pool. Intent pool, kind of like memory pool in blockchains, if you're familiar with that, is an order book of all available orders. And on the one hand, we have intents that are collected from the users with some payment attached to it. So I can pay $20K for the kitchen and maybe $20 for AI system that will help me to coordinate all this. So that's my maximum bid. And then on the one hand, we have bids. On the other hand, we have asks. So solvers, agents, autonomous systems that are competing to satisfy my intent and make money. And once there's a match, once there's a solver who satisfied the requirement, who has the needed reputation, who completed similar tasks before, and my intent, they are matched, and there's a cybernetic contract that is cryptographically signed between two entities. So I put my money into escrow, and this agent kind of stakes this reputation and says, okay, I will complete it in a certain period. So after that, we go into the we can use the already developed set of standards and set of protocols that exist. So for example, A2A protocol is responsible for agent-to-agent communication. You can connect multi-agent systems and pass the context between them. We have MCP. So whenever I have an agent that is doing that, it can call different tools. For example, there's an agent that is choosing suppliers, contractors to go and, I don't know, install tiles on my kitchen. It can use MCP with another service that is doing generation of the audio to actually call to that person and negotiate certain terms and agree on the date. Then we have ERC 8004 standard, which enables us to validate and verify the results. So there's an agent, it, for example, hired a contractor. Now I want to replicate and prove and validate that this work was done at the desired quality. It can also be run in TE, it can be a rerun of the process, it can be restaking on some kind of bond to kind of prove. And then finally, there's a X402 standard that enables the payment between different agents, which is on-chain, which can work, which can be programmable, which can work with escrows. And this whole system kind of, I'm explaining it all using the simple example, but in reality it can be super complex, and it can involve many more agents, and it can involve many more steps. So A2A supports, you know, unlimited number of multi systems, and MCP can be nested. So I can have an agent who calls an MCP server. That server can become an MCP client who calls another server, another tool, and this can be arbitrary, more complex, but every complex system is just an iteration and version of the bunch of the simpler ones. So this is where we start. And yeah, and I guess one thing I want to mention is identity and reputation is a critical part, because this system, basically, there's two ways how this future can unfold. App Store and Internet. Both are super successful examples. App Store is a centralized, kind of polished, gated system where Apple is deciding to approve the application. So GPT Store would be an app store. Like OpenAI will decide which application satisfies, and there will be some rules, and will probably take some commission. Internet is a fully decentralized system. Anyone can build a website. All websites can be arbitrarily connected to each other. But Internet is much more powerful, because it's permissionless, because there's no bound to creativity, and because it is, and it is a more efficient system, because you don't need to pay anyone to be part of the internet. It is a network of networks. So in this latter example, in the decentralized example, it can be more efficient. It will provide better customer experience, but only if we're able to build a very robust reputation system and identity system. So these agents need to be, you need a way to kind of validate, like if this agent claims that it can, you know, organize a conference, an online conference, for example, and invite speakers and set up everything to stream it on YouTube, you need to have some feedback. Like, did this agent did it before? How well did it go? Like, how many viewers did it get? So you can choose the best one. So it has to have some kind of marketplace. Yeah, I will be publishing the full version of this article in the next couple of weeks on our website, cyber.fund. So you can come and see like more pictures and more text and like some actual code snippets if you're interested. Meanwhile, this is QR code, should be scannable, but basically leads to my Twitter account, which is as Gershuni here on top. So yeah, feel free to follow me on Twitter. Here's our website. And thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Stepan. And thank you to all 6 of our speakers. Today we've covered the full spectrum: AI agents as deal makers, LLM feedback, data privacy, empathetic AI, inference, and the broader economic shifts driven by AI. And now I'd like once again to pass the mic to our managing partner, Yevgeniy Chebotov. Yevgeniy, your mic is off. We can't hear you yet.
Sorry, guys. Not want to interrupt anybody. So as I mentioned before, we prefer a special offer for investors joining us today. Now it's time to share with you this information. This promo code BSelective24. If you activate it within 1 week since that event, you will receive free membership. So it was good opportunity to join us and take part to our investing opportunity investing across Web 2 and Web 3. So joining us, back to you, Andrei.
Thank you, Evgeny. And before we dive into the pitch session, I want to pause and share something once again. Earlier, I mentioned our charity initiative. Every reaction to our LinkedIn post turns into a donation. 50 cents for a like, $1 for a comment, and $2 for a repost. You'll see the first QR code on the slide. That takes you straight to the post. Feel free to add your reaction and help us grow the impact. The second QR code on the slide links to the live stream. Share it so more people can tune in and hear the founders pitching today. The previous speeches gave us the big picture, and now it's time to see how AI can be used in practice. We're moving into our AI startup pitch session. 5 founders, seed to Series A, each with just 5 minutes to show how they are tackling real challenges and turning ideas into companies, including several from the Selective VC portfolio. So with that, let's dive straight into the AI Challenges pitch session. One of the biggest questions in AI right now is trust. Can we check what a model produces? zkAGI is tackling that by combining zero-knowledge cryptography with AI, building systems where every result can be trusted. Leading this effort is Artem, founder of zkAGI. He is here to show how verifiable AI can change the way products are built, regulated, and adopted. Over to you, Artem.
Well, thanks, Andrei, for having me. Just confirming if my audio is clear for you.
Yes, absolutely. And I can see your presentation as well.
Awesome. So I would like to present zkAGI. zkAGI stands for Zero Knowledge Artificial General Intelligence. We're the world's first privacy AI DePIN, meaning Decentralized Physical Infrastructure Network. Our team is comprised of R&D specific people. My name is actually Suraj, but online I go by Aitan Krotos. I've been working in AI for the last 10 years. I got into the open source AI movement around 5 years back. Me and my team, who are also co-innovators, we've been building for years. We identified gaps in AI infrastructure, meaning it was not modular and composable, and there were no privacy and verification guarantees that were given in most of the AI services that you can get as a builder. And like over the last year and a half, we built a partner and co-builder network of over 100 projects spanning Web 2 and Web 3. We are very mission and vision aligned. We want to democratize access to privacy AI. We want to do things in a sustainable and cost-effective manner. And at the same time, we want to have no compromises on privacy and verifiability while addressing the biggest need of industries. Of course, most of you must be aware, why privacy is important in AI, like in the first place. Easy way to remember it is like once you actually interact with the AI and you're uploading some information, let's say to a centralized AI, it stays with the AI forever. So our infrastructure is negating that and ensuring that your data remains yours. Market opportunity is huge because of course AI will get only bigger and bigger, and privacy is a luxury. So the need for it will also expand with more AI adoption. Yep. So basically, what we're building is a utility token and a network around the utility token. People are able to build secret agents, as we like to call them. We've also innovated at the hardware level and introduced co-processors, which we call zkML co-processors. We have a deepened incentivization model, and through our pursuits, we have achieved high speed and low costs. So small architecture diagram, we may not have time to go over it, but essentially we're using zero knowledge verification along with computations in trusted execution environments. We also stack other privacy enhancing techniques. Competitive analysis, of course, there's much bigger players. But I think we uniquely position in being accessible to the average developer or normie. and also being open source and providing a modular and composable infrastructure. These are some of our metrics. Most of this has been like organically attained, and we're very much focused on activating developers and community. We have a distribution network of over 1 million that's reachable through our MOUs and channel partnerships, and over 2,000 startups in Web 2 and Web 3 that we can activate. This is a small snapshot of the web traffic. In fact, this is outdated. Now we get 5 times of this traffic across our product suite. So we're growing very fast. In terms of the roadmap itself, we have been very focused on the research and development, and over time, we have been acquiring more users, enterprises. We will be launching, our token, our utility token soon, and over the years, we want to expand the ecosystem of adopters and create business value. Right now, we're raising $5 million. For 30 million valuation on equity, and we will give some exposure on the token as well for people who participate in the equity round. This is a little bit of over the years, going and speaking on the topics around zero knowledge machine learning, privacy, AI, and things like that. Thank you so much, guys. I think I'm 10 seconds ahead, but yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Aiton. Thank you for showing us how zkAGI is making AI outputs verifiable and trustworthy. Now onto our second pitch. At its best, technology should bring people closer together. That's exactly what Zoog is doing, building an intergenerational communication platform that helps families connect in new, creative ways. With Zoog, everyday moments become interactive, playful, and lasting, whether it's parents reading with kids or grandparents sharing stories across distance. Leading this vision is Yoav, founder of Zoog. He is here to show how AI can strengthen family bonds and make communication truly meaningful. Let's welcome Yoav.
Perfect. Can you guys hear me? Yes?
Yes.
You might see my screen?
Yes.
Perfect. So first of all, it's great to be here with you today. And as Andrea mentioned, my name is Yoav. And besides being the father of these 3 crazy ninjas you see on the screen, I'm also the proud co-founder and CEO of Zoog. And I'm really excited to share with you how Zoog is taking AI and AR technology and reimagining, reshaping family entertainment, and in general, remote communication with children. By enabling anyone to create fun, engaging, entertaining, but most importantly, educational content for the children in their lives. And by doing so, giving families really the safe digital hub that they desperately need. Let me show you how Zoog works. As you enter our app, you immediately will see this very large library of content. And the content includes books and songs and short learning experiences about colors, shapes, all the way to biographies about Neil Armstrong and Serena Williams. All you need to do is select what you want to record, and we actually put you inside that content. And as you record, we will change everything automatically. The backgrounds, the animations, the AR will change. And then once you're done, you can share this instantaneously. It's as easy as sending a text message. The children can open your recording on any device and whenever they want. They can then request their next content experiences, send back emojis, video messages, and anything that you record on Zoog is also saved forever in a family memory album. And our users love our app. Don't just take my word for it. See what our users are saying about us in the App Store. Today, Zoog has over 20,000 5-star ratings and reviews on the App Store. And my co-founder has been in consumer startups for over 15 years. Some of the products that he's built have reached millions of users. And I've had a similar experience, but in the business world. I held senior leadership positions at SimilarWeb, and I was also hired by Netflix to produce a show for them, which is a great story. When we have time, maybe I'll share it with you. But it was this experience that convinced me that when I go out and build my startup, it will be at the intersection of entertainment and a problem that is very dear to my heart, which is exactly what Zoog is today. But besides the beautiful product that you just saw, Zoog has proven clear product market fit. Last year, we grew by over 400%, surpassing $1 million in annual reoccurring revenue. Our conversion rate from download to paid is at 10.5%, which is top percentile in the App Store. And we're constantly improving our CAC and retention metrics as well. But besides all that, we've also demonstrated that we're trusted product and team by some of the best entertainment companies in the world. We've already partnered with DreamWorks Animation, Paramount, and a few other great companies to bring our audience probably the most iconic children's IP of all time, which you see here on the screen. Zoog's core business model is subscriptions, and today we have over 12,000 active paying subscribers. But in the past 6 months, we've also launched 3 other revenue channels, including in-app purchases, advertisements for free users. By the way, the in-app purchases today represent 10% of our total revenue, so it's growing really, really nicely. And I'm really excited to share that just this past month, Zoog launched our first ever e-commerce offering, so that our users can now purchase physical gifts and share them with their loved ones directly on the app. Here's the first glimpse of our first product that we sold on Zoog. It's actually a physical book. You open it up and you see the digital recording of your Zoog, which is pretty amazing. It can be fully customizable, personal dedication, and a few other great stuff. To date, Zoog has raised $4 million from some of the best investors in the business, including Insight Partners, Comcast, NBC Universal, and some amazing angel investors, including Guy Gamzu, the co-founder of Fiverr, and even Patrick Lee, the co-founder of Rotten Tomatoes. Zoog is relevant to any child in the world, but we really decided to focus our attention at the audience that probably is experiencing family communication probably the most acutely. And this is these children's grandparents. And when you zoom in and look at this audience, grandparents, baby boomers, anywhere between the ages of 50 to 65, you see that this audience alone is holds the largest amount of disposable income, more than any other audience out there. It has amazingly strong brand loyalty. They have similar digital experiences to mine, to yours, to anyone. Show me a 60-year-old, a 65-year-old today that does not use a smartphone. And they experience this problem of how to connect with the children in their lives probably the most severely. So much so that in the US alone, grandparents spend over $179 billion a year on gifts for their grandkids. So amazing market opportunity. And as I said, they get very little love from developers in the consumer space. Only 10% of marketing dollars actually goes towards this audience. So we truly believe that there's an amazing opportunity here. We decided that for our immediate focus, we want to reach profitability. Profitability for us to go on, continue growing, and to reach our next significant revenue milestone of $3 million, and to continue execute in a very exciting roadmap. We are actively fundraising. We just opened a price round. We're raising $1 million. The round is led by Reimagine Ventures, and we still have some great opportunities. So if you're interested in learning more about opportunities to join our journey, be an investor, please feel free to reach out to me on email or get my contact information from the organizers. And if none of this is relevant, I urge you that if you care about family entertainment and are looking for better ways to engage with your loved ones, take out your phones, scan the QR code that you see on the screen here, and give Zoog a try. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Yoav. Thank you for showing us how Zoog is reimagining communication across generations and turning technology into a tool for family connection. Now to our third founder. If AI is only as good as the data it learns from, the real challenge becomes, how do we make high-quality data accessible, usable, and valuable to everyone, not just to the biggest players? That's the mission behind DATAI. By building a network where AI agents collaborate to source, verify, and share insights, DATAI is opening the door to a more transparent and inclusive data economy. Maria Munayar, founder of DATAI, will tell how her team is making data more portable, usable, and ultimately empowering for startups, enterprises, and individuals alike. Up next, Maria.
Thank you, Andre. Thanks for having me here. So yeah, I'm Maria. As Andre mentioned, I'm one of the co-founders and COO at DATAI Network. It's the Web3 data layer powering on-chain AI. Now, as you can see, we've been backed in the past by reputable VCs, and we also have B2B customers consuming our on-chain data daily, such as Crypto, Zerion, and more. Now, LLMs like ChatGPT have really changed how we interact with information. But here's the thing, they're not trained on blockchain data. Web3 data is invisible to AI because it's not in text format like the rest of the web. It's fragmented and spread across billions of rows of time series information. And yet, AI agents are about to manage trillions in digital assets. And today, they're flying blind in Web3. The blockchain is a massive data layer, and 80% of it still lacks usable context. It's like basically you're trying to Google the internet in binary. Transactions have tripled since 2021, and developers still waste 10 plus hours per week just scrubbing raw blocks. Now, for AI to reason about wallets, protocols, or contracts, blockchain data needs to be structured, accessible, and translated to a format that the AI can understand. And that's the bottleneck that we're solving at DATAI Network. So one that may not seem very glamorous at first, but it's actually a precondition for the many AI applications that people want to build. So how do we do this? By building a 3-layer stack. So at the bottom, you have the indexing layer, which we've been building for 3 years now, and we've open sourced it for developers and node operators to scale data coverage using our SDKs. Then on top, we have the refining layer. That's where our AI models label contracts, wallets, and money flows, and then translate them into natural language. And finally, on top, we have the app layer, which contains more than 50 API endpoints for builders to come and create applications on top, as well as a self-serve agent interface so anyone can query on-chain. Now, this isn't just theory. Our solutions are already live. And since launching, we have 22 paying B2B customers like Zerion, Crypto, and many others. We have 14.5 million API calls per month. So that means a developer pings DATAI Network roughly 5 times per second. All of that today is organic, inbound, and without a sales team yet. Our revenue model is simple. So for our API endpoints, it's a pay-per-call model. And for our AI agent, it's a subscription model like OpenAI style tiers, but for on-chain intelligence. So how do we grow? Mainly through ecosystems. We're already integrated into AI frameworks like Axon and Eliza OS. We're leveraging our existing customers and partners like Zerion, Self-Ledger, and others to become our distribution channels. We're activating developers through hackathons, grants, and even live coding AMAs. And finally, we reward our infrastructure partners with revenue sharing. So it isn't just a go-to-market, it's actually growth through community network efforts. Our team today is made up of 11 humans and 7 AI agents. So we're already working like the hybrid future that we're building for. And actually, fun fact, 60% of our shipped code last month was actually built by our AI agents. Eli is a Web3 entrepreneur since 2017. He's shipped multiple startups. Igor, our CTO, has 20 years of experience building automation and AI tools. I'm an ex-Amazonian, so with 7 years leading data and growth at scale. So we've been backed by reputable investors like Outlier Ventures, Shima Capital, GTS Ventures, Big Brain Holding, and more. So what's next? In Q4, we'll be launching our self-serve AI agent, as well as the mainnet of our decentralized network, which is today in testnet. Next year, so in 2026, we'll be expanding our data sets for AI model training, increased coverage, and features. So what's our moat is we've built a proprietary catalog of 10 million plus smart contracts that are fully labeled and searchable. No one else has this on the market today, and it will take years to replicate. So what's our vision? It's mainly for DATAI Network to do for blockchain data what Google did for the web, which is turn an overwhelming raw chaos into a searchable and contextual knowledge graph, which will power a new generation of AI agents that can safely operate in Web3. We currently have an open fundraise round, so please reach out to us to learn more. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Maria, for showing us how DATAI is making data more accessible and useful. Now to our next founder. Enterprises today deal with endless apps, manual processes, and compliance checks. These tasks are slow, expensive, and often full of errors. Traditional automation tools can't keep up. They rely on APIs that aren't always there or scripts that break as soon as the interface changes. Sentius offers a different path. Instead of guessing, it creates reliable maps of applications, blueprints that agents can follow step by step. That means fewer errors, lower costs, and full transparency through audit trails. Presenting this vision is Daniel Kornev, founder of Sentius.
Okay. Hello from Istanbul. A big pleasure to meet everybody. I'm not sure if the application background is going to work well,
As
so
I can
sorry
see,
about
Daniel
that.
is still loading.
Can you hear me?
Daniel, could you please tell me, can you see me? Can you hear me?
I can see you, and I can hear you.
Yeah,
Can you
perfect.
see me?
Yes, now I can see you. And I can see your presentation as well.
Thank you very much. Hello from Istanbul. My name is Daniel Kornev. I'm CEO and co-founder of Sentius, and our company comes from two sides. We work for big corporations like Microsoft, Google, and Amazon, and we also had the privilege of working cutting-edge AI before it became so popular as it is today. And so we know both things, how the companies work and how we have to reinvent them. Now, when you go and look at big corporations, you can see that they have hundreds of software systems that are like 20-year-old interfaces like SAP, Oracle, Excel, and so on. But these very brittle old systems of record, they are powering user interfaces and, what is more important, mission-critical workflows for the businesses. And people who are in the know of how those workflows work, they are retiring at different speeds in different industries, but they're retiring every single year. The thing is, young people don't really want to take those jobs, which creates an existential crisis for mission-critical industries for our human civilization: oil and gas, manufacturing, supply chain, and many, many others. Now, when you are in Bay Area, and I spent a lot of time there, and I live there, you would think that the pipe dream is to replace everything at once. But the ugly truth is, you can only do that if you have infinite time and infinite resources. 3 years ago, I told to my co-founders now that we have to build UI agents that would control your interfaces, the most universal interface of all applications ever. And, well, they looked at me and said that I was insane. Now, later that year, in 2022, Adept created Act 1. Half a year later, Martin proved that what Adept created for $300 million, Martin could do with ChatGPT in about 2 months. Last fall, Anthropic created computer use model, and this January, OpenAI created Operator. This summer, Operator stopped being just an experiment. It is now an agent mode of ChatGPT. And just last week, the information reported that both Anthropic and OpenAI are training their AI coworkers. So that insane idea is not that insane anymore. Everybody is catching up with what I said 3 years ago. Now, we started working on this in a strategic relationship with BCG, who told us about this very problem. And we've built a browser agent that reached 94% reliability in WebVoyager benchmark, which proved that you can actually do that, at least with web applications. But when you look at actual business applications of companies, you know that everybody expects 99.9% reliability. So I hit the reset button this very summer, and we moved on from hacks to the first principles. We took a page from Full Self-Driving Cars playbook and started with mapping out the actual user interfaces of real enterprise applications like Salesforce, which is horizontal, or Schlumberger Omega, which is a vertical application of oil and gas. And we apply our recorder technology to show what the good decisions, what the good workflows on top of those user interfaces are. The next step for us will be to let our agents learn from documentation and tutorials and provide these AI agents to retiring professionals so they would teach those AI agents everything about edge cases and corner cases. And only after that, we will be able to reach the full autonomy. Now, OpenAI and Anthropic are approaching this problem differently. They teach their AI coworkers to work with fake versions of those applications, while we do that at a fraction of their billion-dollar investment using real-world applications with real-world customers today. Now, of course, OpenAI and Anthropic are going to create fantastic brains, but those brains disconnected from reality do not really matter. What we need to have is a nervous system, and that's what we're building. The nervous system will connect those brains to what runs this economy. SAP, Microsoft, Oracle, Salesforce, Workday, and many others. And it's not just about enterprise software. This is the only way how we can facilitate transfer of knowledge from retiring professionals to AI agents. Somebody will build this nervous system. It's just inevitable. It's just like it that we are the very first to create it. And we do it with real enterprises, with real data right now. Thank you very much. And I will be happy to address any questions later on if you have them. Thank you.
Thank you, Daniel, for showing us how Sentius is making enterprise automation more reliable and transparent. And last but not least, to our final founder of this event. Computer vision is one of the most powerful applications of AI, but building and deploying it has often been complex, expensive, and out of reach for many teams. EasyVision is changing that. Their platform makes it simple to integrate computer vision into real products, removing the heavy infrastructure and complexity that usually stands in the way. Leading this effort is Max Tsigankov, founder of EasyVision. He is here to show how making computer vision truly accessible can unlock a new wave of products and industries. Please welcome Max.
Thank you, Andrew. Thank you very much for hosting this event and for opportunity for me to pitch. At EasyVision, we work with restaurants. So what we do, we connect to the existing cameras to restaurants. In restaurants, we analyze video footage from existing security cameras in restaurants. We analyze them and we flag violations, different violations inside restaurants, and we help restaurant owners reduce their losses and increase their revenue. I will show you our short demo video for you to better understand, to see how it works right now.
AI to monitor your existing security cameras, tracking staff performance, service quality, and potential revenue losses. Our system helps restaurants cut food costs by 3% through waste and theft detection, cutting labor expenses by 4% by identifying staff inefficiencies, and boosting revenue and guest ratings through service standards monitoring. The screen displays a daily monitoring system report with recorded violations detected. We can see dashboards for individual events, with photo and video evidence provided for each. Let's examine alcohol consumption by employees. Alcohol consumption at work is unacceptable. The restaurant owner suffers financial damage, work regulations are not being followed. You can see dashboards for individual events with photo and image.
I will comment the video. So for us not to see it, to watch it fully. So this is an example. For example, one of the violations our customers want us to track is alcohol consumption. And so we send them a report with short video clips with the violations we found. Another use cases is we track
the manager. The efficiency report for dishwashing and kitchen staff is highly in demand. We see staff utilization percentages broken down by hour. Based on this data, managers make decisions to reduce staff during less busy hours.
Yeah, so in other use cases, we show we track staff performance on the kitchen, on the back on the dish pit, etc. And so we send them an actionable points. Hey guys, you can save this amount of money if you reduce these work hours for these people because you don't need them, because you're overstaffed during these hours. And other use cases is about customer behavior.
Cap and does not expect guests who arrive and leave the restaurant without ever being seated, often because no one greeted them at the door. Each such case represents a direct loss of revenue.
Yeah, so for example, we track how many people, we track conversion ratio from people who passed by the restaurant to actual visitors and buyers. And now restaurant owners, they have a tool to address this ratio, this metric. Let me show you, okay, it's done for a video. Let me show you our current traction. Yes, so we work with existing security cameras. Our system is SaaS. Our current traction, we start building EasyVision since January 2025. Right now we have 7 paid customers. They generate 70K ARR, and we already signed agreements for 71 locations more. Most of these locations are within our existing clients, and so we are scaling to their other locations. Let me introduce you my team. This is me. I'm in San Jose. My co-founder Alex. We met each other during our work at EasyVision. We worked there for the last 5 years. It's one of the global leaders in computer vision and facial recognition in the world. We worked there in one team. I worked there as a product manager. Alex worked there as a head of CV. That's where we met each other. We made friends. We enjoyed working together. We enjoyed building together. Previously, also, we founded and scaled another B2C AI startup. We exited that startup, and we enjoy each other company, and we just building together in our new venture, EasyVision. This is our first round. We started fundraising last week. We lined up 100 intros to potential investors from our friends, founders of other startups. We're raising $1 million at 8 million valuation. We will close our round until Christmas. For example, today I have 5 calls with potential investors, so we try to keep it as tight as we can. Yeah, this is our advisors. This is our testimonials. Thank you for your attention. Probably for me, that's it. If you're interested to communicate, please send me an email. Here's my contact information. You can find me on LinkedIn as well, Max Tsigankov. I would love to share you more. And thank you one more time for giving me this opportunity to share our startup. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Max. And thank you to all the founders who pitched today. Each one showed us a different angle how AI can be used in practice. That was the founder's lens, real teams, real products, and real challenges being solved right now. While the pitch session ends here, the conversations don't have to. Let's stay connected, reach out on LinkedIn, keep sharing ideas, and keep building together. That's our QR code for the LinkedIn. And to close the event, we're doing something different. It's perfect time to kick off a live DJ set from DJ Mac, who also happens to be an angel investor. A chance for you to relax and connect. As I mentioned, networking happens directly in the comment section of the platform where this event is streamed. So stay with us, enjoy the set, and thank you for being part of the AI Challenges.